Hey everybody, Yankee here. I apologize, but I am losing my voice, but I'm going to try to get through this video here. So bear with me a little bit, give me a little leeway. If you remember a couple of days ago, I made a video about how the governor of New Mexico, Governor Grisham, or I just like to call her the governor, because it's kind of suiting, because, you know, people asked, what was that picture of I put up of her? Well, that's her merged with the governor from Walking Dead, who was a psychopath, a tyrant. So that's what I made her. There's another tyrant who I think she's actually kind of more like, but you're not allowed to say his name when you're referencing people or they get upset with you. So we're just going to leave her right now as the governor from Walking Dead. But if you're not familiar, and I can't imagine you're not, this governor decided she was just going to suspend the Constitution in New Mexico. She was going to say, people can't carry guns. The Second Amendment is null and void in my state, or at least in certain areas of her state, Albuquerque in particular. She said, I'm going to consider guns a public health hazard, and that gives me the power to ban them, which had no legal precedent whatsoever. There's no legal weight to that. It is just utter garbage. Even her own attorney general said, nope, this is not legal. You can't do this. Even the people in the Congress, her own state legislature that help her write anti-gun legislation said, nope, this is illegal. You can't do this. Even David Hogg is against her. And I almost think that even worse than what she's doing to the Second Amendment in her state is the fact that she made me have to agree with David Hogg. So I wanted to talk a little more about this today because the more I think about it, the angrier I get, and it's not just the David Hogg thing. The more I think about this, the more I think this woman is despicable. Someone asked me the other night, should she be jailed? If you were in charge, what would you do? I think she should definitely be jailed. Some people are like, well, she did basically what the January 6ers did. They tried to do, overturn the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. So you think they should get as much as you think she should get then? I'm like, no, it's totally different. The people on January 6th were manipulated by the powers that be into doing something that they thought was right. Whether they were right or not, that's up for you to decide for yourself what you think of that. But there's no doubting they were manipulated. And that politicians on both sides are responsible for what happened. Politicians that egged it on, politicians that decided to make things more vulnerable so that it could happen, so they could, oh my God, what happened? So I've always said I don't think any January 6th person should be punished until the politicians that were responsible for January 6th are punished, which would mean never. I would like to see everybody who did anything wrong punished, of course, but I think the politicians should not be immune. So here's the thing. Those were citizens with no real power manipulated by politicians. This is a politician with a lot of power overriding the Constitution and trying to sell it by, I'm doing this for your safety. Turn over your rights for safety. This is heinous. And this woman doesn't believe this stuff. There's no way she's that dumb. This woman can't be that dumb. And I don't know if it's polite to call a woman dumb or anything like that. So I'll try to refrain from calling her dumb. From now on, I'll just call her a stupid because she has to be fairly stupid. Because whoever talked her into doing this, whoever wrote this stuff for her, whoever came up with this idea, it wasn't her. I don't think she's that bright. This is someone else saying, hey, we need to use this as a test case somewhere. Hey, you do it. We can convince you to do it. You're not very bright. And I think that's what really happened here. But when they were asking me, what would you sentence her to? I was like, well, I'd give her at least 20 years. And you know why I'd give her at least 20 years? For trying to overturn the government, trying to overturn the Constitution, trying to commit treason, is because of the way she did it. And this is the part that keeps making me madder when I think about it. She used the excuse of, there's too much violence out there. There are criminals hurting people in New Mexico, even children. It's so bad that we have to just disarm everybody. And then she clearly stated that she understands that this will not affect criminals. So what you're saying when you do this, when you say those two things, you're saying, hey, there's a lot of criminals out there trying to kill you, or at least we want to make you think that, so you'll surrender your rights. There's a lot of bad guys out there doing a lot of bad things. So what we're going to do is we're going to disarm the good, honest, law-abiding people. That makes no sense. You can't admit that your bill or your little rule or whatever it is you just passed is not going to stop any criminals, but then say the reason you're disarming everyone is because criminals are doing bad things and you want to stop them. If you really believe the things you're saying, well, then you're just making more potential victims. You're telling the criminals now no good guy can fight back. You've made the whole city a gun-free zone, except for people who don't care about the law. And here's a little secret. People that will kill people over money or turf, etc., they don't usually care about the law. So all you've done is endanger the people who you're supposed to take care of. The people you're supposed to serve. You basically served them up on a platter to bad guys. And that's disgusting. Because if we take you at your word, where you know that, oh, it's violent out there and it's dangerous because of the criminals, this won't stop the criminals from having guns, but let's disarm all the honest people. That doesn't make sense. You cannot reconcile those things and not be responsible for any bad thing that happens. So if any person is harmed during the course of this little thing she's doing here, any innocent person is shot and has no chance of fighting back or defending their family, she should be charged with that murder. She should be responsible for that. She should be an accessory to that crime. And if it's murder, she's an accessory to murder. Because like I said, this woman can't be that stupid. She cannot not be able to put together, won't stop criminals, going to just disarm honest, good, law-abiding people. You cannot be that fucking stupid and not draw breath. Now, she might be kind of stupid because looking into her background, I found out the only reason she even has jobs in government is because she comes from a very powerful, well-connected political family. So she basically inherited her positions. So I'm not vouching for her intelligence, but I'm saying no one could be that stupid. If she is, unless she can say, hey, I'm a total fucking moron, I can't even dress myself in the mornings, then she's responsible for her actions. And what she's done right now is endanger the citizens of Albuquerque, New Mexico, made them to where they are sitting ducks because she has a political agenda. She wants to be known as the one that got rid of guns in New Mexico. You know, she was convinced by Bloomberg or someone that if you can make it fly there, we'll make it fly other places, and you can ride that momentum to even higher offices. You know that's what's going on behind the scene. At least that's my opinion. So the more I think about this woman, the more I think of her less as just a politician with an agenda to a disgusting person who's willing to sacrifice the lives of her constituents so that she can make money and ride a wave of anti-gun sentiments to higher positions. So in my mind, this woman, like I said, is either complete, full, retarded, or she is an evil piece of shit and she needs to be taken out of office, and not just taken out of office, she needs to be fined and tried to the full extent of the law and put in prison for what she's been doing.